with any male that I've ever ran into my whole entire life.
Wow.
And it was probably 6 to 8 months before we finally saw each other.
Wow. You know what? You give me hope.
Well, good. It does happen. Like, it's more normal and acceptable now as far as society goes than, when we did it. But it's okay. I mean, we each had a child from our previous relationship, and, we found a way, I guess. Found a, whatever you want to call it, to make it work, and it does. It's not easy at times, that's for sure. I mean, God, like, I can say, hey, here's my husband, go to this website, and he'll talk about being abducted by aliens, and it's like, but no matter what anybody thinks of it, I will defend him until the ends of the earth against anybody that I have to.
That's some serious love there. Like, honestly, it really is. Especially right now, because I don't know if anyone who's listening right now has heard AP lately, but he has, as he calls it, the lunch lady voice. And it can get annoying very fast, and I'm going to give you a sample of what it sounds like. So, Mrs. AP, listen. No, we have to do it this way. No. Wait. No, wait. No. Okay. Hey, space chickens. This is AP here. Alienphotog. I don't know what happened. I'm just going through. Now the Grays, they told me that it's from Orion and everything. It's all connected. Crazy stuff. So there we go. That's the taste.
Oh my god. We need to get a little more 13 boy puberty stuff in there with their voice cracking. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
So the fact that you can take that, I need to shake your hand. Lesser people couldn't do it.
Well, no, so here's my biggest worry / concern or whatever that I've had about getting on here and telling my side of all of this is I don't want people to discredit for what he's done and everything that's happened to him, because all of that has happened. But at the same time, just because it's happened to him doesn't mean that it's happened to me, but that doesn't mean that I don't believe him and I don't support him.
Okay, well, you know what? It's funny that you bring that up, because if I'm not mistaken, you did say that the Greys, they attempted to do something with you, maybe take you to the ship and show you around, but you fought back. Is that correct?
I don't know. When I was asking AP about it, I was like, so what have they done with me? Because I honestly, don't remember going up there with them at all. So I asked him, what all have, what's happened with me? And he told me, he's like, well, oh god, this is so funny. He's like, they told me that they've taken you a few times, but you fought them every time, and so they decided it wasn't worth it. So he basically said I was a pain, they basically said I was a pain in the ass, so and they didn't want anything to do with me. But
surprisingly, I believe that so much. I'm just being truthful.
No, it's okay. But I don't ever remember, being abducted. I remember them being in my house, but I don't remember ever being taken by them. So, and that's as far as that goes. And then, I remember them being in my house and carrying me to bed and all that stuff, and they were great. It was actually pretty funny. I was talking about it today with AP, just, how I remember that and everything, and he's like, oh my god, he's like, now that I think about it, he goes, that was the first night that I actually recorded myself talking about this to get his YouTube videos going.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Coincidence?
I think not.
Exactly.
So it was interesting, when he would go out to go take videos and wander around the world, wherever the hell he was going, when he's gone, I can't sleep in my bed. So I know that sounds ridiculous, blah, 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 whatever. But I would always sleep on the couch, you know, when he was going out. And when he came home, I'd always go and sleep in bed, you know, when he was there. So he left one night, and I was sleeping on the couch. And so he left one night, and I was sleeping on the couch. And all of a sudden, like, I was sleeping, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, like, I wake up and I'm in my bed, and, you know, he's like, hey, what are you doing in here? Because he was surprised that I was in bed, too.
Oh, wow.
When he got home, and I was like, I'm just sleeping, you know, and I was kind of startled because I was in bed. And then all of a sudden, he's just like, oh, okay, you know, I'm home, and blah. I was like, oh, okay, so I went to sleep, and woke up the next morning, and he's like, so it's weird you were in bed. And I was like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, I remembered, like, literally somebody carrying me down my hallway, like how you hold a woman when you're walking over the threshold of your house after you get married, you know, like, somebody was...
So you don't just throw you guys over your shoulder?
No. Take notes. Don't do that.
No fireman carry. Got it.
No fireman carry. It was a nice romantic one.
Okay, you just saved some woman a lot of pain.
Yes, I know. You can tell her to thank me for that. But, like, all of a sudden, like, I remembered, like, literally being carried down the hallway like that. And someone placed me in the bed and covered me up, and that was it. And then, like, I was sitting there talking to him, and I remembered it, and I was like, and I just told him, I was like, oh my God, I was like, they carried me to bed last night. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, obviously your friends carried me to bed last night. And he's just like, wow. He's like, that was so weird. And I said, why? And he goes, because when I left that night, he goes, I locked the door, and I just wanted to make sure it was locked. And he said he grabbed the doorknob from the outside of our apartment just to make sure he couldn't open it. And he said he grabbed it to go turn it, and somebody from the inside where I was at grabbed it and, like, held it to where, like, they were saying, you know, it's okay, whatever. Like, they were each turning at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm like...
wow, I'm sorry. A shiver just went down my spine.
Yeah, no,
wow.
I have goosebumps. It's... Yeah. And so, apparently, he stopped, and, you know, he was like, okay. And he told him, he said, you better make sure you take care of her tonight and make sure she's okay.
Wait, did he say it like that? You kind of sound like Dirty Harry right there.
No,
you better make sure.
No, just, well, yeah, basically, you know, like...
I mean, oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it was, you know, like, he was going to come back in, and someone basically, or someone or something, told him not to do it, and he just said, make sure you take care of her tonight.
Nice.
And that's, you know, the night that they carried me to bed. And it's interesting because AP Dog was over in that corner right by there that night. And, like, he just kept sniffing, like, in this one corner. And, like, he knows when they're in the house, and he knows where they're at and all this stuff, whatever. So, like, I remember him in the corner doing that, like, right after AP left. And so it was just interesting. So it's just like, okay, well, and I told him, I was like, well, someone carried me to bed. And he's like, well, I guess that was them, because I told him to make sure you're okay. I'm just like, okay. Like,
you know what? That story, I'm turning my lights on now, because the story got me a little...
It's okay. They won't hurt you. They might carry you to bed.
I don't care. I tell everyone I want nothing to... Oh, boy, that's funny. I always say, I want nothing to do with this, and yet here I am.
Well, thank you for helping out with this week.
Oh, no problem.
So why don't you want anything to do with this?
Oh, because I'm a coward. And it's not for me. Like, you know how